So Emily, whenever you want to go ahead and get the YouTube started is fine by me. Welcome to Ability MKE Now. My name is Sue Roscoff. Here at Ability MKE Now, we are a show all about integration, bringing people with disabilities and people that don't have a disability together, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. We all have different abilities. And here at Ability MKE Now, we dive into this topic of diverse abilities. The concept of disability hits a wide range of possibilities. We could be talking about physical or mental disabilities, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, mental health diagnosis, goals of substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own, with people we know, or with people we encounter in our daily lives. Here at Ability MKE Now, we break down the barriers and celebrate the ability in all of us. I am amazingly excited to share some wonderful people with you tonight. Our very first guest I'm going to be bringing in here is someone who I think I've gotten to know her a little more than she has gotten to know me, just because of some events that we attend in the morning. And it is an organization that if you are interested in improving yourself and in learning in the mornings, there are groups that are available to join in. And I'll let Michelle talk a little bit about that, but I know she has some other things to share with us with Project 24/7. So Michelle Cleveland, welcome to the show. So glad to have you here.
Thank you. I'm honored to be allowed to join and share about Project 24/7.
So yeah, if you could go ahead and tell us a bit about that. I'm dying to hear more information because I know Kurt has mentioned a bit. You guys have had a time to chat about it, but please share what is Project 24/7?
Project 24/7 is a new suicide prevention tool. And I'm very passionate about suicide prevention because I did lose two children to suicide in 2016. What this tool will do is it will remove some of the friction involved in reaching out. At every funeral for a suicide, you hear people saying, "Why did they call me?" Well, it's friction is involved. First, you have to find someone to call in your phone, right? You got to get to your phone to scroll through the contacts. And then once you find a contact, you're going to make excuses not to call. So the whole concept of Project 24/7 is when you don't need to make that call, you set up an app, and this application, you designate which contacts you want it to call, and you pre-select which suicide or mental health hotline you would feel comfortable talking to. And then when you need it, you're just going to have to activate the app and it will auto dial one number at a time. You know, on your Apple iPhones, you can hit all the buttons together and it sends a text blast, help, right? Well, this is different. This is going to call one person at a time on the phone and ask if they are available to take a mental health crisis call. And it will keep calling one person after another in your contact list that you've designated as 24/7 contacts. And if none of them are currently available, it'll go to that hotline. So you're guaranteed to get a live person on the phone to talk to. Why is this so critical? This is so critical. Hotlines are so critical because almost 100% of people will change their mind if you can get them to talk. Isn't that an amazing statistic?
That is an
Now
absolute.
imagine if we could get them to talk to their friend group.
Mm. Yeah, we're very involved with Project Die Hard, which is about veteran suicide and reducing veteran suicide. So this is actually very near and dear to my heart that what this all represents. And I gotta say, my word choice introducing you was terrible. I apologize for that. That I didn't even connect actually what Project 24/7 was, and I wish I had this tool in my tool belt that I could share sooner with the guys that we've all met through the guys and gals we've all met through Project Die Hard. I will be sharing that with them tonight because they need to know that this is an option, that this exists, and that this is a resource that they can use. And I am so grateful to hear that this is available, and I'm so glad you're here to
Well,
share this with us.
right now we are building the application. It's not live yet, but on the website, our website, project247.org, you can go there and get instructions how to set this up on your phone manually. So you would set up a group on your phone in your contacts, label it 24/7. That's your reminder. These are the people that are going to be angry at your funeral if you didn't call them. So we're working on building that auto dialing application and we're raising funds for that right now.
Awesome. Oh, it's, it's one of those things that you wish is would not be a needed thing, but honest to goodness, it is. There are so many people that are struggling with so many different things. We don't know what everybody's struggle is. Everybody has things going on in themselves that we all need help at different times. We all have moments of I really need to talk to someone, and this gives them a way, gives anyone, everyone a way to be in a good place, to be able to reach out, to do what they need to when they need to.
It's all about removing friction, making it easier to make that call, making it easier to reach out, taking away the friction.
Awesome. Oh, I'm grateful that you are here and sharing this with us. Can you please share again the website that people can find out more information?
Absolutely. It's project, the word, the number 24, and then the word spelled out 7.org, O-R-G.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so project, the number 24, and then the word 7.org. So please,
That's it.
I hope everybody can appreciate the importance of this and share it. Share this out. Let people know that this is a resource. And I'm gosh, I've got thoughts in my head of where this is going from just with this conversation already. So thank you for being here. I know we've got more guests that are here. I'm going to bring them on in and introduce them as well, and then we'll have a conversation amongst us all here. And our next guest that we do have in the house is Rob Ralston, who is joining us here tonight. He is a life coach for special needs families. So, Rob, I would love it if you could share a bit more about who you are, what you all do, and dive into that just a bit. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. My wife and I, we have a 23-year-old son with autism, with nonverbal, and we're taking what I've learned, what we've learned after all these years, and I'm putting that into life coaching the families with have autism and neurodiverse. Wherever you show up on the spectrum, then I'm coaching these families and I'm helping new moms and dads that they're new to the diagnosis. And so dad's in denial like I was, mom's searching for a cure, help them with that 2 year process of shifting into that this is going to be a lifelong thing. And then I also help families decide, okay, do we have more kids or how do we balance out the children we have? And then I get the older families that they're worried about special needs trust. They're worried about guardianship. Do we do that? And then the siblings who feel left out as young kids, I help them. And then when they're adults, they want to go work on the other side of the planet, but they can't because they got to stay close. And grandma and grandpa want to help some way or another. Sometimes they see things in their grandchildren that the adult children do not see. So I just make sure all these families, new families, and whatever age you're in, whatever neurodiverse you land on, you're not alone. Lots of help out there.
And when this is something that is new for a family, there are so many questions, and to have a place to turn to ask and get some help is such an amazing load off of a person's mind, because you don't even know what questions to necessarily ask because this is all new.
That's right. And that's why I take the coaching approach that us coaches, we do 80% listening, and I'm listening to what they're worried about today, this week, and this year. And then I'm a guide and I walk with them along the way.
That is so nice to be able to have somebody that you can just take the lead, and a person can follow along and get the answers that they're looking for. Because yeah, there's so many different pieces. I mean, and you mentioned several there. That where do you turn, where do you start understanding what's next, what's the next step? And so, and when you talk with people, then is that something that, like, we're actually on a Zoom call right now, is that you're able to talk to people anywhere and help out that way?
Yes, I'm mainly Zoom. I mean, if there's a family in Louisville, Kentucky or Southern Indiana, then please come and we'll meet up. So this is mainly Zoom. And so with the lower functioning children, I can't really help them over Zoom. And I can coach the higher functioning teens and adults, and I do that, and mom and dad over Zoom.
Excellent. And so I love hearing success stories along the way. Um, can you share any nuggets of where you've been of benefit to people in maybe it's an unexpected way, or you've really made a difference in a person's life along the way? Do you have any stories you could share?
Yes, I was talking to a grandmother the other day about her child, her grandchild, and so I created a safe place, and she was able, and she had tears, and she was able to get lots of information, and it took the tension between her and her daughter. I was able to coach them through that, coach the grandma who backed off a little bit and just let little nuggets here and there, and then her daughter was able to come in, and because they let go of the past and the drama and everything, and I just coach mom on how to sit on her hands like they teach us in coaching school and just be the friend. And then her daughter came around, and the child is now getting some services.
Excellent. Oh, such a difference. I love that. I love it so much. So I am going to go ahead and bring in. We have a couple more people in the room with us. I'm going to bring them in to say hello and join in the conversation here. So first up, I will go ahead and bring in the lovely diva. Denise Vargas is such a good friend and has participated in so many good ways here. So good to have you with us tonight, Denise. How are you?
I am fabulous. Hello, Milwaukee. You know, I love saying that. I'm all the way here in New York, and where else can we be together but here?
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And I know you were hearing bits and pieces. If you have any questions or thoughts to share along the way, please hop on in.
I absolutely love the ability to be able to reach out to to the ones that you know you can connect with and trust and feel safe with, right? Because we may have a lot of contacts in our phone or within our families, our friends, but there's always those few people that we really connect with. So I am super excited to know that this service is coming out for all of us to be able to utilize and share with those that need it. So thank you so much for that, Michelle. And Rob, you know, as a fellow life coach, I am loving what you do. Um, I know that oftentimes people live in denial or as you said, finding a cure. I myself have a disability, and I know that for many years, my mother was looking for that cure that doesn't exist, at least not yet, right? So to have someone there to be there for the families, thank you. It's so important. Such important work. Thank you, Rob. And of course, I am waiting to hear about Debbie, how her day is going. And yeah, back to you, Sue.
Awesome. Yeah, the wonderful Debbie Miller is joining us as well. So, Debbie, come on in and give a hello to the crew and remind us what you all do.
Thank you so much. It's great to see everyone and meet Michelle and I think meet Rob again, but I'm with Prepaid Legal Services, Inc., which is a great way for families, all families, to have access to law firms in their area at an affordable rate to help with whatever those questions might be, legal questions, and also identity protection, keeping all of their information safe because we've all heard plenty of data breaches, whether it was your hospital or, well, I don't even, the stores that you shop in, there's always been tons of data breaches. And of course, with Christmas right around the corner, those data breaches and Grinches are out there to grab your information and take advantage of it, as well as different people groups, different abilities of people that it's easy to, some of us are older and it's easier to take advantage of. Some of us just, we're trusting. And so it's always great to have those extra people, extra eyes watching our information and keeping our families safe. So I'm here to help with that. And also, of course, the wills and trusts for all of our loved ones have that information available without the high hourly costs. So it's great to be here. It's great to hear about all these opportunities and things that are available for our friends of abilities there in Milwaukee and across the globe. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Debbie. Now, I do want to bring Michelle back in here to ask her if you could share a little bit about the Daily Huddle. I believe that is where we first have crossed paths. And I know I'm usually a fly on the wall with the group. I haven't done much participating, but I absolutely love the information that I have learned along the way from the Daily Huddle. Do you want to just share a bit about what that is and how people can find that? Oh, and actually just there we go.
Yep, unmute. There we go. It is a community of mostly entrepreneurs and business people who meet at 9 a.m. every day Eastern time. For me in Arizona, that's 6 a.m., kind of early. Yeah, but it's a good way to start my day. Every day has a different topic. So Monday's money matters. Tuesday is talk to the brain. Wednesday is health and lifestyle. Thursday is spiritual matters. And Friday is business and leadership. So every day there's a different host, and they sometimes bring on guests or they have a topic themselves, and we have a conversation.
It's been wonderful. I have learned so much and had so much unique information come my way that I would never have come across otherwise, or I don't know when I would have. And every day's different and every day is good. There's not a single time I've been on there. It's like, oh, that was a way. No, it is always a meaningful conversation. There's always good people on there. And it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the Daily Huddle is definitely a great group of people. And actually, Sorrel and Gio are the two guys basically in charge of organizing all the things. And they've been guests on here in the past and have just been, they've got the biggest hearts. They're such good people. So, and
they really are. They're amazing.
I believe you've spoken on there, I believe, before. Am I remembering correctly?
Yes, I have. I've been a guest on the Daily Huddle a few times.
Excellent. And what kind of topics have you covered on there?
Well, most recently, I was speaking about a book that I wrote called Steps in the Sand, and it's how to help a grieving friend. There's so much literature out there about grief, but there's not much about people who want to help their friend who's grieving.
Oh, and that's a hard topic. So can you give us a glimpse of a bit about what you're sharing in that book?
Bring tissues is the biggest thing. Bring a box of tissues. It lets the person know that you're a safe person to fall apart around, and they can just let their guards down. Another thing that I stress is don't ask open-ended questions. When someone is in the worst throes of grief or any kind of loss, then just trying to figure out what to eat or what to wear is a major life decision. So don't say, "What can I do for you?" or "Reach out, I'm here for you." They can't reach out, they're not capable. So don't put the onus on them to reach out, and don't put the onus on them to try and figure out what they need help with. Offer and make it a closed question, a simple yes or no, or this or that. So, for example, if you want to send over some groceries or bring over a meal, don't say, "What would you like to eat?" Say, "I make a really delicious lasagna, I'm told. Would you like some lasagna?" Or, "May I bring you some lasagna? Will you be home at?" Don't say, "What time can I bring it by?" "Will you be home at 5? I can bring it over warm if you eat at 5."
That is such wonderful practical advice. I love that because you're right, and it could be a really touchy conversation, basically, because when somebody loses a person that's close, it's hard to know. It's like, can I call? Can I talk? Is it okay?
Say how not to. The big thing is you don't have to say anything. Just be there.
And just being there, sometimes that's a hard thing to ask of anyone. It's a challenging, difficult time for anybody who's going through grief. Grief lands differently on every person, and there's similarities, but how it hits a person and the timing of how it hits. So I would love to hear a little bit more from Rob on that as well, because and I know I'm having some system glitching going on. I'm hoping you guys can still hear me okay. Um,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, Rob, would you mind hopping in and with what's all been talked about here, what you might be able to add with that? Because I think what Michelle said there is very true, that there is a bit of grief that goes into the adjustment when you're realizing that there's a new diagnosis of some sort going on in a family, and with the coaching you do, there's a lot of emotions involved in all that. So
Yeah,
go ahead. I
yeah,
would love
there
to
is.
hear you.
Yeah, I got to turn my camera off for a minute.
Fine.
So yeah, so it's you go through the 5 stages of denial, and that can be a long time, and moms and dads look at it differently. What I see is that dads are the reason dads are in denial is because they're problem solvers, and all of a sudden I can't
Mhm.
solve this problem, so they're stuck. What am I going to do? I want to solve the problem. I can't solve the problem, so they're stuck. And then with the moms, they're saying, well, their denial is different. This can't be true. This has to be, I got to find a solution. So their denial is different. And it's a process of just of going through it and getting them the support that they need. Talk to mom and dad separately, talk to them together, work on their conflict resolution skills. I teach them skills that my wife and I were taught, and then that way they can stay together. And so, yeah, it's a rough road in the beginning.
So, and where do you typically start with people when they first come to you? What's a typical? I guess I'm thinking if somebody is approaching you and saying, "Hey, I need help." What does that look like for starting out?
Yeah, what it looks like is that it's really different on each one. It's where they're at, and so it's going to start at different places. Is there? I want their I just listen and kind of get a feel for where they're for what their questions are. So let's say, well, what are you worried about? So then that tells me uh, where to start or where to go. And we use motivational interviewing questions like and so instead of saying, well, you need a vacation, they'll say, well, what would happen if you took all the kids, you put them in the car, and you drove through the night. You woke up at the swim park, and you spent the whole weekend there. So then that gets them thinking. So I start with just getting to know them, and there's really no way to start because it's all different for each parent.
Gotcha. So you're very tailored into each unique situation because each is very unique. So figuring out where that starting point is part of where you can meet them, where, like you said, right where they are, and then be able to move forward together. Wonderful. And I know we're down to just a couple of minutes here. I want to give everybody a chance to just whatever kind of take home message you'd like to share or last thoughts you have that you want to make sure to share out there. I want to give you that chance to do that. Actually, Michelle, can I go ahead and start with you on that?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. Uh, 3 words: a smile, a call, a hug. If you do those 3 things every day, you will save lives. Just reach out with a hug for somebody. 20 seconds is a therapeutic hug. Smile at everybody. You never know who needs it. And reach out and call those people you've been meaning to call. Pick one a day and reach out every day.
Excellent. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I had a friend that said once, if you meet somebody who doesn't have a smile, give them yours. I love that thought because really, how easy is that? It's simple. Uh, and Michelle, thank you so much for being here. Rob, I'm going to give you that same chance here too. If you want to share whatever your final thoughts, whatever message you'd like to share.
Yeah, there's for new families, there's lots of help out there, and you're not alone. There's the uh, like I know a Facebook group where there are 3,000 moms in it, and my corny dad joke, and 50 dads trolling and hiding, and I'm one of them. And so just look around, and you'll find your tribe.
Awesome. Well, Rob, Michelle, thank you so much for joining us. This has been very enlightening, and I truly appreciate you being here. Deby, as always, love having you in the house. You are a wonderful addition always with what we have here. Diva, honey, so good to have you as well. With the whole motto of living creatively, that really is what we all strive for, being able to do that and make the most of every day, make the most of what we're doing and how we're impacting others out there. So again, my name is Sue Roskoff with Ability MKE Now. And as always, we thank you.